Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be how to tell if she's capable of being loyal. Well, I got two emails I'm going to go through with you today. The first one, guy's been dating her for about 5 months. They became exclusive. But part of the problem is she's got a very active Instagram profile and she's constantly getting hit on by other dudes, and it's obvious that she likes the attention and she doesn't want it to stop. And so it's starting to create problems here. And the other thing is she also says she wants to keep in touch with some of these guys. So some of these dudes that she meets on Instagram, she moves them over to text and she wants to be able to text with them. So it's obvious she's still acting and behaving as if she is single. So if you're in a relationship with a woman like that and you're hoping that she's going to be loyal to you, it's not looking good. And so the second email is from a guy. He's 52, divorced. He's got a 15-year-old teenage daughter, and he's dating a woman who is younger. And so part of her, like, they started dating about a month and a half. They were sleeping together. And then so he goes on a trip with his daughter, and then she goes out with another guy. Now, they weren't exclusive at the time, but once he found out, he dipped out. She started dating somebody else. That didn't work out. She got in touch with him, and they've been seeing each other since. And on top of that, she tends to get passive aggressive when she gets mad at him, so she gives him the silent treatment. He's not too happy about that. And so as I go through these emails, I want you to think about, does this sound like easy and effortless? Does this sound like a woman who feels like she won the lottery that she's with you? Does this sound like a woman who wants her man to know that she's loyal, she's chosen him and only him, and she's not interested in talking to anybody else? Or does it sound like a woman who's just keeping her options open, using the guy as a placeholder, and if somebody better comes along, she'll just monkey branch to that dude? Because this is a big issue here, especially if you're going to get into a long-term relationship with somebody. You want to know if she's going to be loyal, because there's a lot of women out there that just are not capable of it. They may say they want it, but when you look at their actions, especially when you look at the actions of this first girl here, you just can't fix that. It's not your job. Your job is to just see reality as it is and how she handles herself when you're dating her. So let's go through the first guy's email. He says, "Hi, Corey. I think I have a big problem." Yep. "I have a girlfriend for nearly 5 months, and after 2 months, we became exclusive. I followed your work, and all of it played really well. She was really in love with me, but in the last 2 months, it's not the same." So it sounds like her interest has gone the opposite way. And so it's one thing to get a woman to fall in love with you, because people can hide who they are for about the first 90 days of a relationship. And then when you're with somebody that period of time, they're just from being around them, it's like the real them starts to slip out. And so that's what he's starting to see here. And probably he's made some mistakes. I think he only read the book once or twice anyways, didn't really learn the information. But as her interest has dropped, instead of her showing that she's loyal and faithful and wants to be with him, it's pretty obvious that she's keeping her options open as we get further into it. He says she's very beautiful, and guys hit on her all the time, and she often tells me about them. I set some boundaries, made it clear that I expect loyalty, and I don't want her to flirt with other guys and go out with them. Yeah, that goes without saying, and if you have to tell a girl that, I mean, going out, oh, it's just drinks, oh, we're just friends. Yeah. A woman who values loyalty is just simply, and is in a relationship, we ain't going to do that, period. She's just not going to do those things. Women that belong to the streets will do it and think nothing of it. She told me that she doesn't have male friends because they all hit on her and that she keeps them at a distance. So she's aware of this. She's aware that for the most part, men and women are not going to be pals or buddies or friends. There's always somebody that wants to get to it and bump uglies. She reacted very well to that and said she liked my stance on that. Hey, you're thinking, hey, sounds good, but what do her actions show us? He says, here's the problem. She's bombarded on Instagram by guys, and to some of them she replies and sends them mixed signal messages. So that right there tells me that she still views herself as potentially single, and for the right guy that comes along, she's going to go explore things. So right there, though, that's just a tremendous red flag there. You just can't go past that. And whatever she's posting on Instagram, she's obviously posting things that cause guys to be thirsty for her. And she likes the attention. If you're in a relationship with a girl and she's not a swimsuit model, she doesn't model professionally for a living, and she's constantly posting thirst trap pictures and dudes are always sliding into her DMs, she obviously likes it. She's posting those because she wants the attention. And a woman who cares about attention from other men instead of how her man views it as being disloyal is not somebody that obviously values loyalty. She's out just to see whatever she can get. And she ain't going to be loyal to anybody. He says, I thought she did it for... And this is part of the issue with the red pill guys, especially when you look at Rollo's work. Hypergamy doesn't care. It's like a woman who has no integrity, yeah, that would apply. But it doesn't apply to all women. Women who have integrity are just simply not going to behave that way. If they're raised right, if they value loyalty, monogamy, exclusivity, and they are a high character person, they're just not going to do these things. A chick that belongs to the streets and hasn't been faithful to anybody, a woman has an Instagram like this, even though she's in a relationship, she's constantly creating thirst trap videos and pictures for guys. She probably doesn't have a father in her life or didn't have a strong father figure, so that's how she makes up for it with her daddy issues. And you just got to see reality as it is instead of, hey, I'm going to be Captain Save-A-Ho, I'm going to fix this girl. And then you end up one of the butthurt babies that made a bad choice in the red pill community, and then you try to project your wounds onto society as a whole and try to convince everybody that all modern women are this way when you're just an idiot and you have no ability to vet your people properly. He says, I thought she did it for fun, but one night she told me that she wants to stay in touch with some of them via text only, that she doesn't plan to go out with them unless she's mad at you or has decided that you're not good enough for her, or that she just wants to move on. And she sends them once in a while a text to see how they are doing, just to keep in touch. So these are her male orbiters. These are the potential replacements for you if she decides she's not happy. Again, a good woman who values loyalty, monogamy, exclusivity is just not going to do this. She's going to be with one guy, and that's it. And she wants that one guy to know that she is his, and he has her all to herself. A chick like this is somebody that's a friends with benefits, sex playmate. You're not going to wife up a girl like this. And a lot of the dunces in the red pill community have done just that. And then so they say, all women are like this. Hypergamy doesn't care. All women are this way. It's like, blah. You listen to an autistic moron pushing out all these ridiculous theories. And then people adopt it like it's a cultish religion. Anyways, to my question why, she told me that she doesn't want to cut. And the other thing is, this is why those guys are so pissed off from the red pill. They're mad at women. And it's like I've read countless emails and countless phone sessions, especially over the last 3 to 5 years, where guys are doing well with my work, and then they get in the red pill stuff, and then they turn angry and bitter, just like the rest of the dunces in the red pill community that are, not all of them, but a large majority of them, that have no clue what they're doing. And then all they do is go around being butthurt and pissed off at women, and they go from having success with women and women liking them to they're just universally repulsed to everybody. And that's not and then they come back to my work, and they get out of the red pill nonsense, and then all their success returns. But you got to vet your people. Not just the women you date, but the friends that you have in your life, the people that you choose to go into business with. There's a lot of dirtbags in the world, men and women, that will screw you over and smile to your face when they're doing it. And you got to be able to recognize those people. You can't just with a broad brush say, oh, well, that's all of society. If you have nothing but a bunch of sex workers and strippers and hookers on your podcast, and then you try to present that to the world like, oh, this is modern women, it's like you're a moron. Plain and simple. And there's plenty of guys in the red pill community that do that, and they're like, oh, see, it's all modern women are like this. It's just not. It's not reflective of society as a whole. To my question why, she hasn't told me she doesn't want to cut all her contacts because they may need her in the future. Yeah, they may need her for a hot beef injection. And all of these guys want her. It affected me, and I became unsure about the whole thing. Yesterday, we were in bed, and she opened up a messenger, which she doesn't use, to show me for fun all the funny messages she gets from guys. Yeah, that's just what you want to see. Oh, look, my girlfriend's talking to all these strange dudes, and they all seem to think like they have a chance with her. A woman who's loyal and faithful just never even going to respond to any of those guys. She may even just block them altogether. She's not going to interact with them in any way. A woman who's disloyal is going to obviously text some of them. Your girlfriend acts like she's still single. Then I asked her to show me her Instagram inbox, and I acted as, why not? As you show me gladly your Facebook chats. She rejected me and asked why. That's not good. Where's the full disclosure? Hey, if you got nothing to hide, let's look at the Instagram. Let's laugh at those messages too. Oh, I can only see the Facebook messages? Ah, that's because there's something that she doesn't want you to see. And the number one dating app at this present time is Instagram anyways. Her response was that I would get it wrong. Oh, you'll totally get the wrong idea. And that we see each other every day and that she doesn't feel the need to justify herself. Oh, okay. So she's got something to hide. She doesn't act innocent, that's for damn sure. I know that she likes to be desired, yeah, because she's got daddy issues. She didn't get enough strokes as a kid. And once she told me that in high school, everyone was after her and she liked the feeling that they can't have her. That's daddy issues. Probably didn't have a dad, wasn't close to him, or had a bad relationship with him, or he just wasn't, there was no dad around. He says she supposedly didn't have a boyfriend until she was 20 years old in the first year of college, and she had sex at 24 just a year ago. Sure, I surely believe that. She was totally innocent until a year ago. She's very peaky, has high self-esteem, and doesn't fall for guys who try to buy her gifts and trips. But yet she sure likes the attention from them. He says, I don't know how to act. I'd say, well, you're behaving, and all these messages, the fact that you're hiding Instagram, you still act like you're single. You are not presenting an image to the world that you're loyal and faithful to your boyfriend, obviously me, and you act like you're single. And so and the fact that you're moving some of these guys from Instagram to text, and you catch up with them every once in a while. So what happens is if you break up, all those guys that she just catches up with every once in a while, she's going to message every single one of them. And then they'll all find out that she's single, and then she'll be right back out there a day after you break up with her, getting her insides rearranged from the Chad Thundercocks of the world. Should I just keep it cool and focus on her having a good time with me, or should I tell her that those types of texts need to stop? Yeah, you can tell her that those texts need to stop, but quite frankly, all she'll do is probably go underground and hide it from you. It's like this woman doesn't have the character that's required to be loyal and faithful. She doesn't act like a woman who really values you and what you bring to the table. She doesn't act like, ooh, I won the lottery with this guy. It's like her whole demeanor, her attitude is she's got something to hide. And if you slip up, and she's not totally happy with you, she'll just go and sleep with somebody else. I wouldn't trust this girl as far as I could throw her. And so from a vetting standpoint, she's disqualified for being long-term girlfriend material because she doesn't behave like somebody who's trying to prove to you that she's loyal. She's actually doing the opposite. She's proving to you through her actions that she's totally disloyal and doesn't care, and she will happily monkey branch from you to somebody else, maybe one of your best friends that she finds more handsome than you. This type of girl ain't going to be loyal to anybody, and I would not be exclusive with her. It's your life. You can do what you want. You can tell her that she needs to stop this, but like I said, she'll probably just go underground with it and keep doing it because you just look at her actions. You remember 5 months? It's like, that girl ain't going to change. She's an adult now. Just got to see reality as it is, my man. So let's go to the second email. Hey, Coach, how's it going? I'm a 52-year-old divorced man. I've read your book once, and now I've been taking it slowly. I was a bit of a player back in the day and kind of already knew some of the topics that you talk about, but you explained better than I imagined. I started seeing this woman in May of last year and, of course, met her online. It got hot pretty fast, and I was actually the one to take it to that level. Our first meetup, after a couple weeks of chatting, we had sex within minutes of our initial meeting when I picked her up at her place. We went out a few times after that, and of course sex was involved more than a couple of times each date. I went on vacation last June with my teenage daughter to San Francisco, and we barely had contact while on vacation. Well, it's obvious you weren't much of a priority to her. And that's just reality of where the relationship was at that time. When I got back, we were still chatting and found out, of course, from Facebook where we met that she went out on a date the day before I came back. Well, that was nice of her. We weren't a couple, but I was really getting into her. She was obviously keeping her options open at that time. She was a single mother at 17 and raised her daughter on her own, who is now 29. I don't know if she's 29 or her daughter is 29. It's not clear about that. My girlfriend was brutally abused by her mom and was married to a narcissist, so I was told. So we got that red flag. Typically that screws people up. I asked her about this date and she freaked out that I asked. Told her we weren't a couple and she was free to do as she wanted. Most guys at that point are probably not dating and sleeping with anybody else. But it's obvious that even after the amount of time they've been together, the fact they were having sex, she was still seeing what else was out there. We chatted every day except when this guy was around. Around July, I was done and moved on. I was polite and told her she's a cool chick and I didn't hate her, but I wasn't playing her games anymore. So right then and there, it's like he doesn't elaborate, but this behavior continued. So based on what he's sharing here, that leads me to believe that the guy that she went out with, she continued to see and spend time with him. So that doesn't sound like a woman who's trying to win this guy over. Remember we talked about Jimmy Stewart, It's a Wonderful Life, and how Donna Reed's character is trying to win Jimmy Stewart's character over, George Bailey, because she wants her babies to look like him. I mean, there was even a line in the movie. It was beautiful. He's in bed. I think he was sick or something, and she's kind of taking care of him. And she says, I want my babies to look like you, George Bailey. It's like, does this woman he's seeing have that same kind of affection for you? Doesn't sound like it. You just sound like one of the dudes in her cock carousel, if you will. And so after a while, he got sick of it and dipped. Because she wasn't trying to show that he was the guy for her. After no contact for only 5 days, something happened with the other guy and she contacted me. Of course. It went slow for a month and no physical intimacy, probably because she was still sleeping with him or somebody else, and only kissing. We got serious around August. She's always said I don't contact her when I have my daughter, and when I do, she says I'm sneaking off to do so. Remember, no one will ever do or say anything to you that isn't a direct reflection of how they feel about themselves in a moment. So if this dude, if she's accusing him of always sneaking off with his daughter, probably it's because she's always sneaking off to do something she probably shouldn't be doing, like dating this other guy in the background. So right there, friends with benefits, sex playmate, that's it. Hookup buddy, that's it. I would say the F buddy, but I don't want to get demonetized. I'm calling and texting around the same times as I always do during the week. And this has been a big issue with us. She wanted to meet my daughter, and she's 15. Well, I mean, based on her behavior and the fact that she's been seeing other guys while she was seeing you, it's like, you got to earn that privilege to hang out with my kids. What has she done to prove that she's a loyal person? Like, why would you want to introduce your daughter to a chick that you're just hooking up with? You wouldn't. You'd say, well, I'll introduce you to my daughter when you start treating me better. When I see that you act loyal and you show me that you can be easygoing, easy to get along with, and you exhibit the qualities that a loyal woman who's worthy of meeting my daughter would exhibit. She's not on her best behavior. She doesn't give a shit about winning you or her over. Dinner was good until we left and my daughter demanded to go to her mother's. This was my weekend to have her. My girlfriend got mad that I didn't scold her in front of her for being like that. I didn't think it was appropriate to do so. So your teenage daughter is talking back to you, misbehaving. I want to go to mom's. Probably because mom will let her do whatever she wants. I did have a talk with my daughter when I dropped off my girlfriend and told my daughter how disrespectful that was. She gets cold and silent for a couple of days after I have my daughter. So remember what she accused him of. he sneaks off. And so he was with his daughter, and she just kind of disappears when he's with his daughter. Why would she disappear? Probably because he's not a priority to her. The last 10 days, she's gone silent when talking on the phone, as she has every excuse, not to see me. So it sounds like you're calling and texting her and trying to get her out on dates, and she's, oh, I'm busy, I'm this and that. It's like, this is not somebody that behaves like they're really super into you. I would highly recommend you read 3% Man. And quite frankly, what happened last summer when you broke up with her, you don't try to turn a hoe into a housewife. You don't turn your friends with benefits, typically, especially when they behave like this, into a girlfriend and introduce them to your kids. It's a bad way to go. And for your troubles, this is what you get. You get passive aggressive and you get ignored. Oh, I'm busy. We had a blow up 5 days ago, and it's never been this intense because I confront her about how the silent treatment is and how it makes me feel. I'm on the verge of ending it, but I do care deeply about this woman. She doesn't really care about you, dude. Her actions tell us that. I thought about telling her if she doesn't want this to work, to call me when she has some time to reflect and wants to work this out. Yeah, well, it takes two people. It takes two to tango, as they say. It takes two people that want to make it work. And she's not making the effort. And, you know, what happened when you guys first started dating, that should have been a deal breaker right then and there, because you continued seeing her and she continued seeing this other guy. You dipped, and then things didn't work out with the other guy, and then she came running back, and then now you've kind of been with her ever since. But easygoing, easy to get along with. Does she sound easygoing, easy to get along with? No, she sounds like a total pain in the ass. Why would you want to put up with that? It's like you're wasting your time. Is that the kind of example that you want to set for your daughter? Oh, here's my girlfriend. Oh, she's going to ignore me for the next week, but hey, maybe next weekend we can catch up with her. That sounds like loads of fun. I've dated women that behave this way. And you can have conversations and they promise that it won't happen again or it'll get better. Oh, that's just the way I am. And then next time they get mad, they do it all over again. And this is an older woman. She may be 29 or maybe her daughter's 29. I don't know. I can't tell how old she was. It was confusing the way the guy described it. But even if she is 30 years old, you're not going to change her. This is the way she is. You either accept this and you put up with this behavior, which I certainly would not. The juice ain't worth the squeeze. If it was me, I'd be dating other women. I'd say, hey, it's been great, but I don't like how you treat me. I don't like all the passive-aggressive behavior. It's mentally abusive. It's emotionally abusive. It's verbally abusive. You can't solve problems unless you can talk openly and honestly about them. And giving me the silent treatment for a week and punishing me until you decide I've suffered enough, and then you'll want to talk. No, thank you. I wouldn't put up with it, but I mean, like I said, both these women just do not seem like they're very loyal, and she doesn't seem like she values what she has with this guy anyways. I mean, obviously he's got to clean up his game. He needs to read 3% Man 10 to 15 times, but you can't make good wine from bad grapes. And you got two bad grapes here with these two different women, these scenarios, and it's like, these are not girlfriend or wife material, not based upon their behavior. They don't really care about loyalty. They don't really care about how you perceive their behavior. And the first one is unapologetic about it. She just expects to tell you, BS you about it, and you're just going to accept it. Oh, I don't want you to look at my Instagram because you might get the wrong idea. It's like, well, the reason you get the wrong idea is because there's stuff in there that's inappropriate. And if some of those guys that are hitting her up on Instagram and she's giving her number to, it's like she's using you or keeping you as the beta male while she continues to see if she can find somebody better. Because that particular woman is just not loyal. It has nothing to do with hypergamy. It just has to do with the fact she's got no integrity. She's not trustworthy. She's a hoe. She belongs to the streets, and that's the bottom line. Don't try to turn a hoe into a housewife. So if you got a question or challenge and you'd like to get my help, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and book a coaching session with yours truly. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.